So basically, my background's always been finance and some business. But I'm passionate about coffee and I'm passionate about food. Because of my work as a finance person, I find it difficult to spend a lot on expensive coffee or expensive food and raising my family. So practice what you preach. So over the years, I've learned how to really spend a lot of time in the kitchen. And then since coffee was a passion also of mine, started to venture initially simple brews and everything. But one really triggered this is I started to buy a entry-level espresso machine. And then from there, I developed with the advent of YouTube and all these things. I learned a lot. But siguro the one that really triggered was the pandemic. Because I'm always traveling, I'm always out, going from one place to another. But biglang, suddenly we have a lot of time. And the thing is, providentially, about a month earlier before the pandemic, or about 2 to 3 weeks earlier before the pandemic, I got a professional level espresso machine and a grinder. I wasn't able to really tinker with it because I was traveling, I was going all everywhere until lockdown. So lockdown, that's when the craziness started. So I started to learn how to use it properly, dial it, the nosebleed stuff of coffee, learning, researching about the beans and everything. That's when it started. At the same time, since everybody was in the house, I mean, I have kids who were working, my kids were in school, so everybody was in the house 24/7. Hey, we were locked down. So I had to, and I was doing work, puro Zoom na lang. So kitchen became my playground. Kaya travel I mean, if I remember back then, we can only travel to the grocery, to the market, that's the only place. So coffee became, and the food became like a mainstay. So all through 2020, I was, parang really honing my craft. I've always loved cooking for many years. At siguro this time, I've had more time experimenting, and the coffee became a thing. So that's where it started. The craziness started. Then 2021, towards the end of 2020, remember the time restaurants were still closed?
Yes.
So people were calling me, Randell, baka people who knows me, who've eaten my food, baka we can order your food na lang, maybe we can start something. So I started with this crazy idea, collaborated with my niece, who also was in the restaurant business because of the lockdown. It changed. So we started to work on something like baked salmons and stuff. I thought, okay lang yan. But I think the breakthrough started in Christmas of 2024. Suddenly everybody wanted. As in my oven broke down. I mean, that level. I had to change it. Parang shit. So yung level na yan, that started. So I thought it was just a passing thing. Kasi lockdown and everything.
Yeah.
2021, we're still semis, di ba? Still have a lot of this. Mga we're really traveling a lot. Very hard to get out of town. So medyo we're still doing that. By the end of 2022, when we started to go around, and with my passion, I still have that order thing. I had a friend who, because of the pandemic also, established a restaurant in La Union. He's a very good friend. Moved to La Union. His name's Joey and Tim. Radio personality, si Little Joey and stuff. So moved to La Union, got tired of Manila, the lockdown. Taga La Union naman sila. So went there, started. We visited them. So they're a restaurant, Asian inspired. Then they built parang like a milk tea shop. And ganda ng place. Sabi ko, milk tea is medyo on its way out. You should have coffee. And we just said, parang on a dare sa Barkada. Put up the coffee, partner tayo. I mean, that's just, sorry, I'm a finance person, I'm a planner of business, Pero yun, biglang on a wave. And sabi ko, if I spend a lot of money on expensive coffee machine for the house with no return whatsoever, maybe I can do this. Anyway, it's just a passion project. So, no joke, in 8 days, I was back in La Union setting up. In 8 days. So that started the thing. So
just because of one conversation?
Just because of one conversation and my passion for coffee. He loves coffee, he drinks coffee in my place. Sabi niya, if you're gonna build it, let's do this. So that started the thing in 2020. few months after, a good friend of mine was many restaurants all over the country. His name's George. They can introduce him to it's a good friend of mine. Pandemic business also, parang, because a lot of people go to me for counseling, for mentoring, for ganun. So parang he was like one of those young guys na business. So start to talk to. Sabi niya, Kuya, I love coffee. Parang, maybe we could start something. I got this place in Baguio. And then he has a ramen shop in Baguio. He has a parang American backyard Baguio. He has those stuff. But I've always wanted to have a cafe inspired. So I got this place near St. Louis University. I got it already. I mean, I want you to go with me. Sabi ko, wow, George, hindi mo pa ako nakausap. Kinuha mo na yung pwesto. Sabi niya, so, we will do it together. So that ventured to the second one. So parang I started, although we're gonna move the place, so parang that started with those things. Until, sabi ko, I think I'm ready for something that's expanded, like a more expanded coffee shop. That's the only plan. Now, this place, this building is actually family owned. We own our family owned space. But we're leasing it out.
Yes.
We're lessers lang. I mean, we don't get into that business. So this place used to be a Macau milk tea. Which is doing really, really well, especially the onset. Kasi this was one of the first Macau franchises. Alam mo yun, baba pa ng franchise fee, tapos sikat sila.
Yes.
I mean, it was doing really, really, really well until the pandemic hit. And the owners were very busy. They're doing many things kasi they're not doing other things. So this is George, my partner. Maybe we should talk to him also. Yan ang serial entrepreneur. He's the one who got me into these crazy ideas. Kaya pag pagod ako, I blame him. So, okay, kasi he's a young guy going around the country. So I started that. So then I showed George, may pwesto kami. Pero merong pang Macau. He saw it. He went there. Sabi niya, Kuya, sobrang ideal ng place mo. It's ito, mas more to, blah, 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 blah. We can elevate. He started to come up with the idea. So, enabler. Sabi ko, teka, the place is not even, it's being rented out. I don't want to kick out a tenant just because I want the restaurant. But again, providential, maybe the Lord's blessing. Tenant said, they want to get out of that Macau business. We're not renewing anymore. So, I told the family, sabi ko, my siblings, I'll get the place. Sabi niya, that's a funny, kaya lang ka tumanda, tsaka I get into that. The thing, di ba? Parang, you should be slowing down. I'm nearing my senior year already, so parang, kung kailan ka to do that, get into that, sabi niya, well, I'd rather do this than regret not doing it. Because many years ago, my siblings, I got into kind of business. I really, the bar restaurant business that closed in 5 months. We didn't make money, we lost money. Considering we got free rent. I mean, that's how crazy things are. Are you sure you want to do that? Sabi ko, no, I'm wiser now, I'm older now. I can maybe do it. So we got into this. So that started the whole thing. And that became, parang creative. If you see the place, take a look, my son-in-law built this for me. He's an architect. My wife was a drink designer but stopped working for like 25 years. Parang we got into this, started to do the menu, started to see how I can do things, started to offer, go around, watch. I have this belief kasi, if there's something that you don't like, that irritates you, that annoys you, finding a solution to that, there's money to be made there. That's where the business. Diba? I mean, anything that you don't like to do. I mean, that's how I started to get those confidence and stuff. But I think I have to do it better. So, ganun din. Sabi ko, there's so many good restaurants. They're extremely expensive. I mean, to get good quality, expensive from coffee, to burgers, to steak. And even steak. If you see the mga TikTok, people are paying 4, 5, 7,000 pesos on steak. Sabi ko, I can do that for a fraction of cost. If not as good, maybe even better. But that's the idea. Sabi ko, kasi that's what they do in the house Sabi ko, I'm not gonna go out and pay, bill natin 25,000. I can do that in the house. So that whole idea, I played with that. Right? So that's where my skill came in. Plus my partner now is a really restaurateur, put the order together. So that's the whole started. That created that craziness. So lo and behold, ventured into this. Really, people know me as a finance person, maybe a little bit on the business side, but never in the restaurant. Unless they're very close to me, they know I'm crazy for food and coffee. So kaya my first customers were my friends. So we've been wanting And even my kids, di ba? My kids, our friends, even my which are all adult kids na, even all the friends of my kids, saying, your dad should put a restaurant, your dad should put a restaurant. So even they were psyched to come. So that's the story of Mano. That's how it is. Now, why Mano? Because, well, it's Italian inspired. Well, number one, lolo na ako to Mano. That's the joke that everybody uses. But when to make good food or good coffee, there are many factors. Like sa coffee, the makina, the Italian, the beans and everything. And the most important ingredient is the hand. So for the barista and now the chef. So I still spend time in the kitchen. I still spend time in the griller. I pretty much can do everything except the pizza. That whole dough thing is not something that I like to do. But I went to. When I was in Italy, I enrolled in a short course for pasta making, mga ganon. So it's just craziness. And that's the story of this one. So it's just a culmination of things that I wanted to do. Now I now have the maturity, the finances, the resources, the connection to do something, to act on something, to act on it. Maybe a dream, but now it's here.
Sir, what makes Mano an original concept?
Well, sa totoo lang naman, this doesn't seem an original concept. I mean, pizza, steak, and everything. But this one, it's good because I'm a big factor of value. So, I mean, I can give you better food without charging that much. I can give you. Some people say when they go here, it's like an extension of my house. So parang we feel like you're here, talk to you. And some even say, it kind of looks like your house. Parang ganun, ano? So, parang they have that sense. It's still a home feeling. And you see that, no? Some of the desserts are actually made by my daughter who supplies me now. I have to pay her. They supply and stuff. Some of them are like food that they grew up with. Comfort food for them. So, may ganung feel. May home feel. Premium pa din kasi we serve wagyu, we serve really good quality fresh pasta and stuff. So that makes it different. Makes me different also in the area. Later on you'll see, I bought this big cheese wheel from Italy, so we can cook your pasta there. We make everything fresh, if you see outside. The doughs are fresh, the pasta's fresh, the grills are fresh. I mean, that's how we do things. So quality food, and then what I like, so when they see the bill, they're pleasantly surprised. So, si Nick and si Carlo, you know what he did? Bro, well, sabi, sobrang mura to, you have to increase the price. I mean, can you imagine people telling me, good friends, you're crazy to charge this amount, you have to increase the price. So, I mean, I like that kind of, even as serving, we never say it's for sharing. But when people get it, oh, that's so generous. It's actually for sharing. Parang ganon. So, I want people to get a good feeling after they eat. That's why, even in 2 weeks, we're now getting the big customers. I mean, di ba, parang, iba, kasi ano ba yan? Kasi this location or they saw it in TikTok, somebody, we haven't even, this is actually my first media, we've not done anything, nothing. We've not even, no vloggers, nothing. But they come. And then they would shoot, they'd see the pasta wheel is like the steak, the pasta wheel is everything, and then they began to sample. Like coffee, they'll be surprised. Sometimes I'm close, they like practically bake. Baka naman pwedeng like coffee lang and dessert lang, maganon. So it's a good problem that we have now.
So for you, what makes a better coffee or better food?
Okay.
And so where do you source?
Okay, here's what I'm happy about. So, if for coffee, you can source anywhere. I mean, there's a lot of importations here. But I love Philippine-grown coffee. If done right. The problem with, and this is what I learned in the business now, there's many Philippine coffee, like Sagada and like that. Pero they're not, they're from Vietnam. That's why it's over-roasted. Because the problem with the Philippines is limited supply. Okay, di ba, there's coffee crazy. We should start coffee. There's coffee craziness, di ba?
Yes.
But limited supply. And syempre, di ba, tayo, as Pinoy, we're proud. So, we have to source it properly. And then, it's the roasting. So, even if I eat steak, I give you a high-end steak, but you don't know how to cook it, you're gonna mess it up. Di ba? So, it's how you roast it, then how you prepare it. So, the recipes have to be done. I have to dial the machine, I have to taste it, I have to we cannot automate that.
Where do you do the roasting?
The roasting is done specifically for me by a friend who's crazy into roasting. That's funny. Young guy, loves coffee. He got into the business during the pandemic, created a lot of entrepreneurs. He started to roast, and then of course we collaborated for the flavor. So he exclusively roasts for me, particularly the one that I have.
Medium.
So this is a medium, especially for my pour over, but make one thing halo ng dark for the espresso to balance it out. So later on I realized, kasi di ba made after all, dapat rapid na lang. It's not true pala. Because Arabica and Robusta, it's a combination of things. And of course also the quality milk, the quality. One thing I learned about coffee machine for mga Arabica, it's the grinder. Sometimes you see a very good machine, tapos ang pangit na grinder. So you have to invest in the right. And then training. Kasi everybody says that latte art thing, but you can get a latte art but it tastes horrible. So I can do it both. I can give you latte art, I can give you good coffee.
Sir, for first timer, ano yung marirecommend?
For coffee or for food? Okay. Siyempre for Pinoys, they're not, the whole cheese wheel pasta is an experience for them. Strong parmesan taste and stuff. And then, the steaks are also good for them. Kasi, even for my steak, I have different price points. So you can go
Bougie.
you can go, but even my Wagyu, if I get the menu, it's not, people
Super
are like
expensive.
surprised. Carla, ang mura naman ito. Hindi ka mo tatlo. Crazy. The way they ordered, sabi ko, Carla, parang apat kayo, pero parang pang 12 in order. So, ganon. But I have like, you can get a steak, good quality steak for less than 1,000 pesos. Imported out. Steak, good, perfectly cooked, and our pastas, we have pastas below 500, 400 pesos. We have pizzas 300 plus pesos. Our Angus burger, our classic Angus burger is not even 300 pesos. So even the price points are amazing. Even my coffee, the same kind of coffee, if you drink it outside, same level, would be at like 50%. Yeah, so those things are important.
Sir, I live around the area, and aside from this spot, there are a lot of coffee shops here. What makes a person go back in this place?
I think at the end of the day, of course, everyone talks about the ambience and everything, but at the end of the day, it's still the taste. It's still the taste. I mean, of course, I built a nice ambience place, and you know, the way I built it, it's important. I had to spend more than
Usually.
I wanted to, but as a finance person, I was struggling with the idea of spending more. That's one of the experience, but it's also the quantity and the service. You wanna feel that people nga post kasi now I have to read everything. They feel na, okay sila, they're close na, but they're not rushing us out. The owner's friendly, the staff is like hindi suplado, and parang some customers can be demanding, so we give it. Not happy, I'll change it.
Sir, as a financial advisor, yan din bang i-advise mo sa mga tao? Kasi,
Alam mo,
at in your case, kasi sinabi mo,
Yeah.
you're older and wiser, then parang sudden lahat ng...
of course, syempre, di ba, there's that time, but there's also the wisdom also. I mean, nobody goes into business to lose money. I mean, that's something that you need to understand. So, this is where I also take a look at, well, number one, it's how you purchase. So, even before opening this, kasi I'm a fan, I have to, as a consumer, I have like suppliers. Right? As a home consumer, people are surprised, why do you source? Sourcing is very important. So, I guess, me being in the business for so long, people actually go to me first. So, that's very important. Sourcing is good. Okay? Doing it right. If you don't know how to do it right, you're gonna waste. Like coffee, kung di ka marunong, magtatapon ka ng kape. So you have to learn. There's a level of skill and expertise. I'm proud. Here's something I'm proud of. My staff, they'll be surprised. Nobody's above 30. I'm like the only ancient person here. My partner is like early 30s. I mean, like, that's why everybody call me Coach, Kuya. It's like the old guy here. But they're young, but yet, when you look at the way they do things, that experience that they have is amazing. Like, more than half of them is from the provinces. Gave them an idea, years of Manila, we can do that. Really good. I mean, really good. Without the attitude. So, Diba? So, yan yung yung scenario natin. So, that makes it difficult. The service is excellent. The quality of food is excellent. The ambiance is excellent. I mean, despite the difficulty of parking here, we live in the area.
Yes.
So, tawag ko dun, paano park? Biblical, seek and you shall find. Diba? Parang, it's crazy, but people come here. So I can try it. When we're puno, when do people getting go outside? When do people park their cars? Okay, so yun yung mga things that work for.
Actually, parking here is a whole other industry.
Actually, they're more expensive than to live here. Grabe. Hindi pwede 20 pesos dito. Papatuyin ka ng parking. You know, if you go around, it's gone to like 100 now. And people are willing to pay. Bro, mahal pa kayo sa business. Papagano'n ako.
Sir, pa-mention naman saan yung mga location ng branches nyo and operating.
Okay, so we have one in San Juan, La Union, where we have one in Baguio, but the Baguio is gonna be moved siguro early. Supposed to, I should have moved it, but I'm that busy here in this one. So for Mano in TIMOG, we operate on a weekend, Friday to Sunday. We start at 11 a.m. We end at about 10 p.m. On a weekday, ngayon we're still on a trial. We start at 3 p.m. We end at 10 p.m. But we're considering, because we get a lot of people asking us for lunch. So maybe January it's gonna change, or maybe next week. So kaya nga soft opening pa. So yeah, and plus I realize some people don't like the crowd. They want the lighter crowd, which is a lunch crowd, than the evening crowd. So I might open also for lunch.
And sir, can you tell us, is it okay to follow your passion? What would your advice be to people who do that?
Following your passion should always be balanced with discipline. I think that's something you need to understand. Following your passion blindly is dangerous. I think that's what I learned. I mean, of course, after many years, I failed in some investment, I failed in some businesses. That over the years created wisdom. I've learned how to work with other people. I mean, I feel a lot of these young people naging financing, but you have to listen to other people, older, wiser people, something that you can help you, experts in their own fields. Like when I was starting this, good thing my partner is a restaurateur. He's like half my age, but I have to talk to him. I have to learn from him. We have to collaborate. So that's something that's very important. So your passion is like, it sparks you, but it shouldn't end there. You have to learn. You have to have competence. I'm passionate about coffee, but I'm good with coffee. I'm passionate about food, but I'm good with food. So the passion should be matched by your level of competency, okay, your level of skill, and then I think that's a good formula. Of course, and then understanding your purpose is just as important. I mean, at the end of the day, like me, I can make money. Honestly, I can make money in other areas than me.
Yes.
Probably more. But I don't wanna live a life of regret din naman. I should have. Plus, over the years, we should put tayo sa regret. Many years ago, people tell me that just shrug them off. I said, I don't wanna complicate my life. But come to a point that, hey, opportunities there. Diba? So, yeah. And of course, learning along the fly. I mean, you can prepare, but you also be expecting. I didn't expect the craziness that my involvement in the operation would be like this. Diba? I didn't know. I had to one of the longest trusted person who works for me, he assigned me here. So mga ganung bagay, very important. Of course, the financials are very important. Don't borrow money for these things. Diba? You have to learn how to use it. You have to learn how to budget everything. While I went over budget in construction, but not as much as others. Kasi iba parang there's the budget 2x, 3x sila. Hindi naman ako umabot sa ganun. But so I had to learn how to do it. And of course, you have to learn how to trust people. Give them the chance. Diba? Now I'm working with, some of them. I had to, in 2 weeks, I'm gonna have to talk to them about discipline. So, yung mga ganun bagay.
Thank you so much, sir. And congratulations on your business.